The one aspect of horror movies, or movies in general, I guess I should say, I love practical effects. I adore them. I think that digital CGI, whatever you want to call it, does have its place. Perfect example is I remember seeing John Wick, and like they were adding in digitally the smoke and the sparks and everything coming out of the guns because of safety reasons. That's totally cool. I love the fact that they can actually do that and actually protect people so there's no accidents. God forbid someone gets killed or anything like that. Because accidents can happen. And I love it. It's cool. I think there is definitely a place for them, but sometimes they're overkill. Overkill. And especially at the beginning of the 2000s, I feel like it was really pushed in front of you. And it did not age very well. But if you look at stuff from the 80s, I always kind of think about like John Carpenter stuff. Maybe Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, a lot of those kills would have been CGI in today's world, but they looked so good practical. And I heard a snippet from the Joe Rogan podcast when he was talking with Oliver Anthony. I'm not talking about him whatsoever, but they had a conversation about practical effects in movies. And I just found that very interesting. And he was specifically talking about the American Werewolf in London, which had one of the greatest, maybe, I don't know, practical effects moments in history and what the creator did behind it. So take a listen.
And in that one, that was the first time in one of those movies where you got to see like the advancements of special effects. Like, what year was American Werewolf in London? Let's guess that. I want to say 82. I'm going to say 82, 84. 81. I should have stuck with 82. back then when you had special effects, it was like kind of like they didn't move that good. Like they couldn't get their faces to move that good. But he had figured out a way to get your hands to grow. Like and he had to figure out a way to get things in his cheeks where his cheeks were bubbling.
Yeah.
And it's
awesome.
All real. None of it is CGI. And there's something about that uncanny valley when you're watching a CGI transformation. Your brain knows it's bullshit. For whatever reason, you're better off having it look fake but be a real thing, like John Carpenter's The Thing. You're better off with that than you are with CGI. For whatever reason. CGI just...
I mean, I think we just have seen...
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, this is behind the scenes footage I was going to show you.
Oh,
I
wow.
thought it was pretty cool
That's
because
cool.
it still moves in a real interesting way.
Yeah, but that's a physical thing moving. It's not a CGI. That does look exactly like the wolf in the lobby, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So, but back then they couldn't even get the thing to close its mouth. Look how sick that is.
That's awesome.
Imagine if you're in a subway and you see that fucking thing turning a corner. Oh my God. That scene was amazing. Where the poor guy was stuck in the subway and he was running from it, and then you see it at the bottom of the escalator stairs. That's like just those quick glimpses of a thing like that is so much more terrifying than some long CGI'd up monster killing someone scene. Like the American Werewolf in London was just a masterpiece. Landis just nailed it. It was the perfect horror movie, and it was funny. It's like there's funny moments in it.
Yeah, that's cool when you can add you can get humor in there too. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of my dog when I don't give him table scraps. You know, he's got that terrible face like that.
That thing was amazing. Yeah, but it's just the difference between digital and real.
I mean, the dude hit it right on the point, man. That's exactly the reason why I like the special effects so much. There's that grittiness about it. Like when something's like absolutely perfect, it just doesn't flow or feel proper sometimes. And if you compare, especially going back to what I said, you check American Werewolf in London and maybe look at something that's a horror movie that was heavy into special effects in the early 2000s, 25 years ago, it just doesn't feel right. So it feels good that it feels like there's been quite the push going back to special effects, or at least mixing it in. I shouldn't say going back, because they're never just going to go back. And it just makes it so much more enjoyable. Going back to what I talked about with Terrifier 2, I think one of the reasons this sequel was so great was the fact that they were very big into Damien, the creator. I'm forgetting his last name. The fact that he was able to do the special effects and do the makeup himself and just kind of really gore things up by hand, I think is what kind of gave him that creative edge in the movie that helped it thrive so much.